Are you actually ready to handle abundance? Because once it starts, it doesn't stop. Once it starts, it doesn't stop. And this is something people actually need to spend time with and integrate in order to progress forward in the way they want to in their journey. A lot of people say they want more money, they want more clients, they want more followers. A lot of people say they want to step up in their career, they want to move forward in some way, shape, or form. But when you enter that frequency, once you obtain this thing that you're wanting, it doesn't stop. Abundance is such a rapid energy and it tends to multiply once you enter into it. So if you're not regulating your nervous system, if you're not truly ready to handle maybe the attention that comes with the abundance that you're wanting, maybe it's the responsibility that comes with the abundance you're wanting, maybe it's the deep change in the aspect of who you have to show up as in order to handle it. If you're not regulated and ready, you're going to crash out when your abundance comes in. And this is why you hear people talk about regulating your nervous system and embodying abundance now before you actually obtain it, so that once it comes, it's not such a shock. You know how to handle it. You're ready for it. You're ready for it to multiply. You're ready to challenge yourself. You're okay with the changes that are going to come. You're okay with the attention that might come. You're okay with what might have to be sacrificed or released in order for it to come. If you really want abundance, take this as your sign to regulate yourself now, to prepare yourself now, and ask yourself, is it truly what you want? How do you know if you're ready or not for abundance? How do you know if you're ready or not for your manifestation, if you're regulated and ready and prepared to handle what you're trying to call in? What's important to understand first is that any sort of positive abundance gain in your life or manifestation coming to fruition, it's going to require all of you. The first thing we have to ask ourselves if we're actually in alignment of what we want is it in every fiber of our being? Are we truly living and breathing it? Is it truly what we want? Have I actually gone to a deep depth in it within me and identify, why am I calling it in? Why am I working towards this thing? To manifest something in your reality, it requires a deep understanding of yourself. To become more abundant in any way, shape, or form, for simplicity's sake, we'll use financial abundance as an example. To obtain more financial abundance, you have to have a deep meaning of why. In order for financial abundance to be attracted to you, it needs to know that you're actually invested in it. It's like if we wanted to go on a date with a person, we would actually want to know that they're really interested in us. Like, what are their intentions? Why do they want to take us out on a date? Why do they want to form a potential long-term partnership? Money and manifestation works in the same way. The same deep type of energy of it's a clear vibrational match. It's clear to why we're attracted to each other. To know if you're ready is to know if you're in true alignment with that thing. To be regulated, to know that you're ready to handle it, is to have your daily actions reflecting that you have the room for it. If I had more financial abundance coming in, does financial abundance know that there's room in my bank account for it, that I know how to handle that money, that I know what that money would be going towards, that I would know how to treat that money, I would know how to multiply it, I would know how to manifest it? Are those things that I know and I'm educated on? Do my actions reflect somebody that's financially responsible? It's just like if again, the example of the partner, but it's just like if a partner were to say, like, come move in with me. Have I been to their place before? Do I see that they've cleaned out drawers for me? Do I see that I have space for X, Y, and Z? You'll know if you're ready for a manifestation if you could say yes to all of these things. You have a deep reason. You're educated on it. Your actions align with it. Your life has space and room for it. And if the answer is no, that's okay. We see that's where our work resides. Abundance is a rapid energy. Once it starts, it doesn't stop. So it's important, if we're trying to attract abundance into our life, that we're regulating ourselves. Not only are we regulating our nervous systems, but we're having a close eye on our actions, and are we actually prepared for the abundance that we're seeking? So let's talk about how to regulate our nervous system first, and then we'll talk about the actions we need to be taking. There's many different ways, shapes, and forms to regulate your nervous system. But what I do and what I recommend to my clients when I'm working with them is breath work, meditation, journaling, and time in nature. Breath work is a direct way to work with our vagus nerve, which is our nervous system. So if we're feeling anxious, when we work with our nervous system and breath work, we can regulate our breath, therefore sending signals to our brain that we're safe everything's okay, we can handle what's happening right now. If we're expecting abundance, or we just had a rapid, maybe you just switched careers and now you have a bunch of responsibilities, or maybe you're just trying to prepare yourself, like I said, like you're expecting abundance, you're preparing for it. Working with our vagus nerve through breath work is the perfect way to just get used to being in a calm state. I think a lot of people don't realize that they take maybe shallow breaths, meaning they just breathe like all day, and they're never doing actually having frequent full deep breaths. Having shallow breaths, or if you have a tendency to hold your breath, which a lot of people don't realize they do as well, your nervous system is more likely to be on edge. Breath work is a great immediate way to snap into your body. Meditations is an obvious one. It slows down your mind. Meditation can be uncomfortable for a lot of people, so I often recommend guided meditations, visualization meditations. These are super accessible online, and of course, I do guided meditations for my clients in my one-on-one sessions. Journaling is a great way to get anxiety onto paper. This gets the thoughts out of your head, it gets it out of your body, it moves an energy out of your body into an express source onto paper. This is regulating your nervous system. Even more so, just creating room in yourself, in your being, to welcome another energy in. It's kind of like emptying a cup of water in order to replace it with more water. We're trying to find outlets to express ourselves as a way to regulate ourselves. And time in nature is something that it's a huge way to regulate yourself, slow yourself down. Nature is very still. We can look at it as an ultimate symbol of stillness. When we're sitting and we're seeing how the grass, it doesn't move unless the wind moves it. The trees, they don't move at all. They're rooted in their one location. These recommendations are, of course, holistic because we are working with the spirituality and the spiritual knowledge of abundance, how it's a rapid energy. So how can we, as energetic beings that are going to be affected by this rapid energy, ground ourselves in the physical? It's our physical body that's often not ready to handle abundance rather than our spirit. Our spirit, our energy, can catch up to things rather quickly. Our body lags. This is why we have to regulate ourselves. Now, with our actions, how we need to align our actions in order to be regulated and ready for more abundance is to start living as if you already have that abundance. If I wanted to be a CEO and have more money, how would I schedule my day? What kind of schedule would I have? I would probably have to wake up, get my workout in, have my breakfast, do my meditation, then I could answer the emails, then I could have that client session, then I could go to that meeting, then I could do this, and this. So just start living as if you're already doing that. Go sit at a cafe as if you were actually going to meet up and have that business meeting. Seeing if you can align your day-to-day actions as if you already live that life. So when you're practicing for it and you find yourself overwhelmed with just the practice, you can apply these habits, you can apply these practices and how to regulate yourself in those already pre-assumptive activities that you're doing. This is how you call it into you. You become a vibrational match. Our physical actions are the most powerful thing we can do manifestation-wise to prep ourselves for more abundance in any way, shape, or form that it comes in. That's just an example. This was a longer video, but I wanted to give an in-depth answer. But you don't have to do it alone. It can be a lot of hard work to get yourself prepped, regulated, and ready to handle anything that's coming into your life. Any change can be a big adjustment. Abundance is not just money. I think people assume abundance money, but abundance is anything that's like a greater thing. We're always attracting in abundance, but what type of abundance is it? Is it an abundance of lack? Is it an abundance of the same old, or is it abundance as in monetarily and more positive opportunities? We can shift our energy to what type of abundance we want to call in. And it is in a woman's life path to become wealthy if you so choose to open up that door. Because in the feminine enlightenment or spiritual self-growth journey, it is for you to obtain what women's generational past, our lineage past, was never able to. And something that all women can share in common is that the generations that came before us did not have financial wealth and financial independence. For women, that was literally impossible. But when there is a long line of some sort of wound in your past, it is very hard to become the generational curse breaker. And if there's been a part of you that's always desired luxurious things, or you've just desired having your own security, this is for you. This is for you to choose to tap into. You can choose the life of wealth, but it's going to require you to overcome the shame that has been taught on wealth. I'm sure you've heard people say before that money is the root of all evil. But the full quote is actually the love of money is the root of all evil. If you start to prioritize money above your own well-being or people in your life that you care about, or you prioritize money above service, that's when money becomes toxic. But if you can create a healthy relationship with money and see it as a tool to benefit you to do good, this is where you can break those generational cycles to not only obtain money, but to do good with it. In this age of the matriarch, where more women are waking up, realizing the difference between male enlightenment and female enlightenment, it's realizing that our path is much different and we must obtain what we did not have. The male enlightenment is to release what they have built up their ego around, which is things like money, greed, too much power. It's not for a woman to learn to do that. In your self-growth journey, it's for you to learn to obtain, but to do good with what you obtain. But if you're closed off to wealth, you won't be able to complete that cycle, especially if you are seeing that you are meant to have wealth in this lifetime. The first step is believing it. In the age of the matriarch, we are handing money over, and by we, the universe is what I mean. We are handing money over to women who will do well with wealth. Woman, well, wealth. Remember those 3 W's. Anytime that you're coming into contact with more money, ask yourself how you're completing a cycle, ask yourself how you're going to do well with it, and ask yourself how you can multiply it. Money is a physical thing that represents a spiritual energy. The biggest shift that is happening in the age of the matriarch is that we are going to start seeing more people who want to be at service of this world, who are genuinely good people, become famous and become wealthy. Stay in your heart center, believe, and know that this is possible. Woman, well, wealth. Remember that and you will make your way there. Remember your intention. Stay true to why you want to become wealthy. And be brave in your path of breaking the generational curses around wealth for women. You've got this. This comment is in response to a video I made helping people use the power of visualization to tap into financial freedom and abundance. And in this visualization, I started with saying that you would wake up at 11:30, no pressure, no guilt. And in response, this person said, I would literally never dream of sleeping in until 11:30 a.m. And in response to that, I want to read you a little paragraph I wrote in a book that I'm writing for women, helping them to tap into their divine feminine energy as a way to be abundant and empowered in this lifetime, that I think will help with why this programming of anti-slow living is so damaging. There's a reason why women haven't been able to thrive in this world. Using the Western culture as an example, we have grown accustomed to fast-paced work environments, instant gratification culture, fast food, and busy living, all while being pressured to keep up with the Joneses. Women are thrown into a patriarchal society that knows nothing of their cycles and innate energy and expects every being to prioritize work and productivity over rest and slow living. Why I bring this up is because I've heard many people do this just in day-to-day passing, day-to-day chats with people, where if they hear someone sleeps in, they view that as laziness, or it makes them uncomfortable, or they say, I could never sleep in that much. And it's because most of us have been programmed from childhood with going to school to wake up at 7 a.m. and then you leave school around 3. And then we start work culture, and for most of us, that looks like being to work at 9 a.m., getting off at 5. And so when we begin to think about how would we be abundant, what does financial freedom and abundance look like? What does it look like to have true freedom? A good way to challenge that programming of work culture and feeling like we have to work for abundance would be to begin to challenge the way we view our rest. And why in that visualization I chose 11:30 is because that is going to challenge a lot of people in that programming we have that we have to wake up early. So if you feel guilt or you feel like discomfort or you feel judgment towards that time of just waking up, maybe there's something deeper to look at there. Maybe that could be a doorway and a breadcrumb trail as to why you're not where you want to be within financial freedom. And not talking to you directly unless this resonates, but just using this as an example. When we begin to challenge things that make us uncomfortable in our pursuit of financial freedom, we can find what blockages we can work on to open ourselves up to the abundance that is within rest. Especially as women, abundance comes to us within rest. Much love.